Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Bonnie with a B, and I'm excited today to tell you about a recent shopping trip my sister and I made. We joined a friend, we had a great day, beautiful autumn day, great thrifting, and some good girl time. We traveled south of our city, and our friend Linda traveled north of her city, and we met in Kidron, Ohio. Kidron is predominantly a Mennonite and Amish community, and the first store we visited was MCC Connections, and the MCC stands for Mennonite Central Committee. They have a worldwide ministry in which they aid the underprivileged and also aid in social justice. So great mission. This I found there. Isn't it something? It was $5. I kid you not. I was stunned. I thought I would at least see a 1 in front of that 5, but it was $5. This store was incredibly clean. All of the merchandise looked like it had been washed and shined and polished. One half of the store, they had some looms and tables set up where people were weaving and doing handmade quilts, which they also sold there. So that was really interesting. And then the other half of the store was their thrifted goods. And again, it was just beautiful and nicely displayed. You would have thought you were walking into the crystal department at Macy's. It was really nice. And the prices were excellent. I really had to refrain from buying too much. I try to limit myself to what I can use in my home. But let me tell you, if I were a reseller, the car would have been packed to the ceiling, and I would have had to leave my sister in Kidron and send her a bus ticket to get home. They had that many beautiful things. Another thing I found there that I just couldn't walk away from was this beautiful matching pieces of Bavarian hand-painted porcelain. Very fine, very thin porcelain, beautifully done, has little tiny, almost beading around the edge. Can you see it? And the painting is just lovely. And you can use it as a set or separately for nuts or whatever you want to do, a few cookies, whatever, for guests. I thought it was just beautiful. $1 a piece. $1 for this bowl. I mean, it was just gorgeous, and I could not leave it on the shelf. I just couldn't. Then I found this adorable little milk bottle with the skeleton on it, and I'm going to use that for my coffee shots on Instagram for Halloween, which is at the end of this week, and I'm going to put cream in it. I have a coffee mug I bought at a local coffee purveyor, and it says eat, drink, and be scary. So I thought this would be cute next to it. And the bottom of it says boo. And I paid 75 cents for that little guy. I thought he was just adorable. Then I found these. Ooh, aren't they beautiful? I know I've seen these in magazines, catalogs, and even on Pinterest how-tos. If you aren't familiar with them, they are to put in the garden, and they make very large and tall ones that go in the garden. So when the sun shines on them, it looks like you have jewelry amidst your plants and flowers. They're just beautiful. These are more of a potted plant size, and I'm going to keep at least one of them for an indoor plant. I have a beautiful big Christmas cactus, and it blooms in the spring at Easter time and in the winter at Christmas time, and it's just gorgeous. The blooms are very plentiful. But in between those times, I like to stick things in the plant to sort of dress it up because it's big and green and it sits in the corner of the kitchen. So I currently have a little Halloween thing stuck in there. For fall, I put in little metal sunflowers that I found at Dollar Tree, and I am going to put one of these in after the holidays and when the blooms go away. And the other one I may end up putting in one of my pots outside. I do some potted plants in my garden as well. And if not, maybe I'll put it in one of the ones that I plan to do for the plant sale, the May sale. So these were $1. I felt like I was stealing them. There is like probably $5 worth of beads on here, and that doesn't include this beautiful huge gem at the top and a threaded rod and a little bolt that you tighten to keep the beads in place. I mean, it was just unbelievable pricing there, and I was really happy to find this little pair of sparkly beauties. That was about all that I got at the MCC. I know that I'll go back there. They had just spectacular things. I just know I will. But I, again, tried to stick to what I knew I could use. The next place we went was the Goodwill in Orrville, Ohio. Now, Orrville is the corporate headquarters and a large processing plant for Smuckers, the makers of the jellies and jams. And with a name like Smuckers, it's got to be good, right? What a lot of people don't realize is that Smuckers represents quite a few brands that they own, because more people in the United States drink a Smuckers brand of coffee in their homes than any other brand. They carry Folgers, they carry Dunkin' Donuts coffee, they own Bustelo, which is the Latin coffee, and then they have one called 1850, I think, which is kind of a premier coffee. They also have Meow Mix, they have Milkbone, and Jif peanut butter. So it's a large conglomerate, and it's a huge deal in town in Orrville, as you can imagine. The plant and the headquarters are blocks long, and they employ a lot of people. So in Orrville, we went to the Goodwill store, and I got there a little pinwheel that's currently in my garden that had a skull, and it, the skull face is in the middle and the thing spins around, and that's in one of my flower pots for Halloween. The other thing I found there was this bag of ceramic balls, and they have leaves on them, and I thought these would look great in autumn in a basket or a bowl. These were $3.50, so I did get those. And that kind of summed up what I bought at the Goodwill store. Linda got a few items, Brenda got a few items. Actually, we bought something everywhere we went. Then we went to another different store that I'd never heard of before, called Mission Thrift. Mission Thrift is also located in Orrville, and their mission is to aid the homeless and people who've had tragedies like a fire or a flood. So again, another great organization. And there I found a couple really wonderful things. I showed you a couple weeks ago on a video, a little plate, a little square plate that I had found at the hospice thrift store in our town that had a scene on it from Italy. And in Mission Thrift, I found this one, this big one, and it is, of course, London. And this is Elizabeth Tower, which holds the clock Big Ben. And these plates are done by 222 Fifth, and they're called City Scenes. And I love these. I can't stress enough how much I love them. I love the idea that it's a sketch, an artist's sketch, and it's just fun. It's just a fun plate. And of course, you can use it for anything. It is food safe, and it's even dishwasher and microwave safe, although I don't think I would do that. I'd be afraid. Also in a plate stand. How pretty is that? I mean, I just love it. And especially if you've been to some of these places and they remind you of them, it's kind of, again, like a little work of art without having to hang something on the wall. It's like a little canvas that you can put in a plate stand. I was real happy to find this. It was $2.50. I also found at Mission Thrift a copper napkin holder, and that's in my kitchen right now. It was $2.50 also, and kind of cute. Then I found this mug, and you may remember these. It's the Nescafe mug, and this one says Nescafe on the bottom, And it also still had the original sticker on it, which of course when I washed I removed it, that said it was made in Japan. And I was really happy to find this. They are collectible. They're sold online. I want to use this in one of my coffee shots, maybe for World Peace Day or something like that. I just thought it was really cool. So that was $1. Great buy. Then I found I bought 3 of these lovely trays. Let me turn over because I'm going to read the back. They are by Debbie Mumm, M-U-M-M, for Joann stores. And Debbie Mumm is a very talented artist, and she has a licensing agreement with Joann whereby she produces artwork that they then can use on different tableware. And this leaf one I think is just so cute. This, again, how many uses? I mean, you could, I don't know, it's metal and it's not super thick. So I don't know that I would use it to carry things. But certainly you could bring put a tray of cookies on it or something, or sweetbreads or something to take to someone's house. You could put it in the center of your table and put your condiments on it for fall. I mean, I just thought they were darling, and I did buy all 3 of those. They were $1.50 each. So that was a great buy, I thought. The last thing I purchased, I'm going to be honest with you. I filmed this before, and I deleted it and decided to film again because I could go on and on and on about the film Gone with the Wind. And I was gone with the wind in that video that I deleted because I got caught up in it. What can I tell you? So I'll try and keep it brief, but I do want to tell you a love affair with the film without going into too much detail. But when I was 12 years old, I had just turned 12, my girlfriend Ruthie, her parents were taking she and her sister Joann to the movies to see Gone with the Wind. It was 1967. And they invited me to go, and I was so excited because when we were children, going to the movies was a luxury. We did not have a lot of money. And I can count on the fingers of one hand how many times I went to the movie as a kid. In fact, I can tell you, my mom took us to see Mary Poppins when it was first released with Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke. And then she took me to see Fun in Acapulco with Elvis Presley because I was in love with Elvis Presley and I wanted to marry him. And I also had a crush on Jerry Lewis. So 2 total opposite ends of the spectrum, right? But I loved both of them. So anyway, I digress. They invited me to go to the movies to see Gone with the Wind, and I was just over the moon. And I fell in love with the movie. Seeing Atlanta burning on the big screen and the costumes and it was a love story, really, if you think about it. A couple love stories, right? And I just loved the film, and I never forgot it. A few years later, I was at a library book sale, and I found this old and very worn copy of Margaret Mitchell's Gone with the Wind. But this wasn't the novel that Margaret Mitchell wrote, because the novel was like a real popular read. This is the motion picture edition of the movie. It is exactly written as the movie was made. I was thrilled to have it. I'm still thrilled to have it. It sits on my shelf and I cherish it because it reminds me of the love affair I have with the movie. So walking through Mission Thrift, I'm sure you wondered how I was going to get to something thrifted, right? There was a box and it said motion picture idols or something like that. Gone with the Wind, Scarlett OHara, Vivian Leah, Scarlett OHara, and it was a figurine by Avon. And here she is in her ruffled gown, sitting on a bench, there's the bench, holding her bonnet, pretty as you please, butter wouldn't melt in her mouth, okay? Waiting for all the boys to bring her a cup of punch and a piece of cake. And I really enjoyed finding this because it's going to sit next to the book on my shelf. And I'm just really happy to have it. On the bottom, I don't think this was ever taken out of the box. On the bottom is taped the little booklet that accompanies her. So I was really happy to find this. And that's about all I have to share with you today. Thanks for indulging me with my Gone with the Wind love affair. And I really appreciate you tuning into my channel. I really, really do. If you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up so that I know you did. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. That way I can grow my channel, and I just love sharing these things with you. So thanks again. Take care, and I'll see you next time.